What's up, guys? Today I'm going to give my review of Fortnite Chapter 3, and that's honestly about it. I can only say in time. Let's get right into it. So, first of all, let's talk about the absolute biggest change, by far, which is the map. The map is better than Chapter 2, probably worse than Chapter 1 at this point. Just as a whole, but it's still undetermined as to how this chapter and its map are going to be viewed. So first of all, the good things are it's a little bit smaller, I think, than the last map, which we'll talk about later. Why that's something that's good, but because it's also one of my complaints. Not that it's small, but you'll see. Just watch the end. So the map, it's got places like Shifty, the logjam place, the Joneses, God. So, let's get into the first major change, which is the map. The map is good, it's a little bit smaller, which the game needed, because even though the mid-game is still kind of dead, which I'll talk about in a little bit, it's okay, I guess. Shifty is probably my favorite location so far, just because it's just a ton of fun to run around. I loved fighting in the shafts in Chapter 1, and it's literally copy pasted from this one. Greasy also returns, which I like. Greasy. I don't love it like others do, but it's the same Greasy. If you really like Greasy in Chapter 1, you're gonna like it here. It's pretty good. A couple new locations, stuff like Coney Crossroads is a very good location. Rocky Reels kind of is like risky, but like a little more like developed. It's probably the best way to put it. I like it. I think it's good replacement for risky. The desert theme, which has Condo Canyon, which is kind of like paradise. It's pretty good. They don't return they returned the racetrack and the from a chunkier speedway, which now it's a couple bit more buildings, it's a little more finished. It's not, and it's named. A little racetrack there you can race on with there's 4 like off-roaded like sports cars on there, which is pretty fun. And that's mainly the reason I dropped there. I just like using the cars. And then let's see, there's another location, the Joneses. That's a location on the Fortnite Chapter 3 map. It's like 2 buildings. Like, I don't care about it. I genuinely don't care. So for anyone worried, the Chapter 3 map does keep swimming from Chapter 2. It's not the awful water from Chapter 1. It's compared to Chapter 1's water was just miserable, honestly, compared to Chapter 2's. With all the swimming and stuff. Fishing's also back. And overall, it's pretty good. But it lacks one. The Sanctuary is for the closest thing to like a Tilted or a lazy lake or something, somewhere where if you drop, you're fighting people. Sanctuary is kind of that, I guess Sanctuary is kind of that, but also it's not like dominant like other locations have been in the past. It's just a location. It's definitely I think it's most populated at this point. It's probably that or Condo, but I like it. I like Sanctuary. It's kind of fun, but obviously Tilted has been rumored that it's returning, and it's like frozen over right now or something like that, like by where Loot Lake was. And it's rumored that it's gonna like melt, and you're gonna see Tilted. That happens. This map is like elevated, and the whole game it probably goes up a whole point for me, because that means that it'll get rid of one of my main issues, which is the lack of fights, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But man, if Tilted returns, I can get some kills. I can go drop there. It's just, and I know I'm gonna guaranteed find people. Honestly, if Tilted returned, it would probably bump my game up, bump Fortnite up a whole point for me in the rating out of 10, which you'll have to keep watching to figure out my rating. So overall, the map at this point, I give it probably a solid 8 out of 10. As long as they just keep changing and updating it, because right now it's got a novelty factor to it. It's got that nostalgia factor. It's new, and a lot of people miss the Chapter 1 map, and it's back kinda. and I think it's got a shot to be really good as long as they keep updating it, like they did in Chapter 1, rather than Chapter 2, where they like changed the middle, like the color, like twice or something. I actually don't. There's like one new location or something, something really minor like that. Overall, the map, biggest change. I really like it. We'll see if you like it. Okay. So the next big part of this is the guns. There are 7 of them. 7. That is not a big amount. That is like, it's honestly not acceptable to me. Because 7 guns in a game where you find them pretty often, it's just not fun. Because it just gets repetitive. Like, you see the same guns every single game. And while you don't almost see the same guns every single game in other games, I mean, they're like the same. It's just unacceptable. Just only have 7 and like no other options. Like, if there's 7 good and like 10 mediocre to bad, that would be fine. It would be fine, because I mean, you'd see those 7, right? But you would also, while you'd see those 7, you'll at least have variety if you want. Maybe like, you remember the burst from Chapter like 1, where yes, the normal AR outclassed the burst in almost every single way. But if you wanted to use the burst, you could use it, and it was still like kind of viable and fun. Change it up every once in a while. But you don't get that option on this map. So in terms of ARs, you have the Ranger, which is kind of more of a mid to long range gun. It's fun-ish, I guess, but it's just not that good. And it really forces you to get into closer ranges, or at least mid, where the MK7, which is basically, like, when you aim it, you basically just have a first person. It's basically, it's literally copy-pasted the Microflex LED from Cold War, which I love the Microflex, so I like the sight on it, but it's weird to have recoil in Fortnite, not just bloom. That is so odd. It's a little too strong right now, especially at mid-range, so it definitely needs a nerf. Because right now, you just see the MK7 at mid-range. Like, it's uncontested, the best. And, like, you know, the Gold Scar, obviously, it was uncontestedly the best gun at mid-range for a while. At the entire time it was in, pretty much. But the FAMAS, a blue AR, or something like that, you still had worse odds, but you could still win. It wasn't like, sure, the Scar guy, if your equal skill is probably like a 60-40 versus like a blue AR or a FAMAS or something, like 60-40. But with the MK7, it feels like 90-10 versus any competition, and it's just not fun, honestly. You just see the MK7, and it's so easy to find. There's just no point using the Ranger. I think I've gotten killed by the Ranger like maybe twice, if that. It's just not good. It's just not a good gun. It is just outclassed in every single way by the MK7, and at a little bit longer ranges, it's just not good enough to really care. So you're basically forced in the mid-range where the MK7 dominates. So maybe if you're getting beamed by the MK7, you don't have one or something, or you just want to push, then you get forced in a closer range where you have to deal with this awful shotgun meta. Oh my god, it's so bad. You either got the striker pump, which hits for like 20 a shot. Like, it's awful. I hate that gun. Or you have your good old auto shotgun, which is kind of like a tack, would be the best way to describe it. But it's so bad. I hate. It's just like, it's bad. It's not. I don't think it's as bad as the striker, but both of them are. It's just no good options. But the easiest way to fix it is just add in a gray, green, blue, gold heavy. Like, add the heavy back, and and take out the auto. Because the auto, like, it kind of wants to be a heavy. It kind of wants to be a tack. Kind of wants to be like it thinks it's the drum with the name. But it's just worse than all 3 of those, except maybe the drum. Even then, if you have the drum back, I'd actually like that, because it's not as good, but it's variety, which it needs. Especially up close, because with how bad shotguns are, no one uses them other than on edit. I do not use them. I don't think, for the most part, I don't think people have been using shotguns as much as the Stinger. An absolute menace of an SMG, which, see, the thing about the Stinger is, I don't know if it's good or not, because the shotguns are that bad that the Stingers has no competition. Like, if you added in the P90, it would literally just be P90 Central up close. And it's already pretty much Stinger Central up close, and the P90 would just, it would just be dominant. I think the Stinger is a pretty good SMG compared to, like, the normal SMG or I think the sounds might be a little better. But it just has no competition. The only reason anyone has used a shotgun, at least from what I've seen, is just off of an edit, because shotguns do a little more in one shot. But especially with the striker, it doesn't seem to consistent. It's like the Season 5 pump. I don't know how many you played in Chapter 1 Season 5. But, the pump would hit for 8. 8 damage. That's what it feels like I'm using. And it just feels like SMGs just are uncontestedly the meta up close. And when most fights in this game happen up close, and the core of the close meta forever has been shotguns, and you turn that into SMGs, it makes just the overall gameplay just bad, because every gun is just bad. The sniper is awful. It's a purple sniper and it's doing 95 to the body. I don't even know if you can one-shot the goal, because I haven't really found it yet. It is just bad up close. It is just bad at longer ranges. Like, the sniper sucks. It's like good for like a crack or something to get a headshot, but like, if you get a headshot with especially how bad I'm getting on a tangent, because I hate the guns. They make this so miserable. Because the sniper, you can hit this perfect headshot, which, by the way, is not easy to do with this bullet drop that looks like a plane just crashing into the side of a mountain or something. Like, it's going from altitude of 10,000 down to like -4 in like 2 seconds. I hate the bullet drop. It's so bad. And there's no way to line it up that easily, like with the bullet. There was like that one tick thing below the scope where you could line it up and you'd hit headshots. It was fine. But no, with this sniper, you line it up and it's a perfectly placed shot, and running, jumping, perfectly placed, timed. You're like an American sniper in like a bush or something, and then you get like an 86. Like, why? I don't understand it. It just makes the game worse, because even with the 3 shots, they hit you once, and with that bullet velocity and drop, you hit them once, you don't kill them, and they build a fortress, they heal, and now you've lost all of the element. And you can say, oh, what about the AR? Well, you got the Ranger at longer ranges, which is awful, and then you got the MK7, which has just so much recoil at those longer ranges. I mean, it can be done, but it's miserable. The gun it's miserable. It's just a stinger. The Stinger close, the MK7 at medium, nothing happens at longer, and nothing else is good close or medium. I don't get the guns. Like, what was the thought process there? Just literally just take, and there's no like RPGs or anything. There's no fun guns. There's just miserable. It's miserable. There's no snowball launcher, even though we're in the middle of December. Like, there's no like rocket launcher. There's nothing. It's just miserable. It's just 6 miserable guns and the Stinger, which is also kind of miserable to play against. It's just, I actually don't get it. Like, it turns the game from like an easy 8.5 for me to a like low 7. I hate the guns. It didn't intend to go on this impassioned of a rant, but it just makes me genuinely mad how this was their idea. Literally just give us like the guns that are fun. Take out the sniper, put in the bolt, take out one of the shotguns, put back in the heavy, also put back in the tack or the pump. I mean, I guess you guys want, I don't know why you guys hate, I don't know why Epic hates the pump so much. The pump is actually what people want to use up close, because it's a fun, reliable, good gun. No one wants to use the striker pump, which looks like it's like 4 damage. I don't understand. Maybe they want to go with 7 guns because, like, the 7 or whatever, they gotta go with the Fortnite lore guys, yeah. But no, and also the pistol, if you're wondering, the pistol's like, it's like a purple pistol. It's like kind of good, but outclassed by the Stinger. No reason to carry it. Like, I don't understand. It's so painful to just have to deal with that. Every single game, you gotta deal with bad long range, 1 gun mid range, and bad close range. It makes just everything bad. Oh my god, the guns just need a good mid-range counter to the MK7. Like the Scar. If you add in the Scar, you actually have something that up close, not close. My bad. The mid-range that the MK7 just doesn't win automatically, or the better MK7 user just doesn't win automatically. I mean, people on controllers right now, I think they got aims. I saw that somewhere. Someone can confirm that. Let me know. But like, with that, I play mouse and keyboard, and recoil on the MK7's like not terrible, but it's not good either. And then people on controller. I don't know how you guys are controlling this thing. It kicks. It's like Bruce Lee out here with its kick. Like I don't understand the point of. I don't understand the guns. They genuinely make this game so miserable. The loot pool just needs such an overhaul. Like, make the shotgun meta not bad. I mean, you gotta add in, like, the heavy I think would be perfect right now. Like, just replace the auto. Just get rid of the auto. Put in the heavy, and then get rid of the striker pump. It's just a dollar store pump. Just put back in the pump, please. No one wants the striker pump. No one cares about the striker pump. Just get rid of it, please. Like, God, I don't understand it. Like, if these were on a tier list, just all Fortnite loot pool, or just not loot pool, but just loot, all of these guns would be the five of the guns, the 2 shotguns, the sniper, the pistol, and the ranger would be F tier easily. They'd be down there with like the Great Bolt from the first day of Chapter 2 Season 1. And then the Stinger would be like a solid beats gun, like the suppressed SMG. Like, oh my god, it's so bad. So bad. That concludes my rant on the guns. And let's see. A little bit more negative news for you. Basically, I played Warzone like I don't know, like a week ago or something like that, like a week and a half ago. I don't know when it was, and I was just blown away by like the gulag system stuff. Like you play Fortnite, you play Apex, and you play Warzone occasionally. You used to play it a lot, but I've played more Apex and it's obviously Fortnite lately. Halo too, because I haven't really experienced like Warzone recently. It just hasn't been something I've played in a while. So I played it, and I forgot how good the gulag system is compared to like the reboot system from Apex or Fortnite. Let me tell you something. Fortnite's old reboot system where you just die and you're dead, you don't come back, you just spectate your squad for 20 minutes, was bad. This reboot system is mediocre. It is just the definition of mediocre. Because you're still spectating, and you're also relying on your teammates a lot more. I mean, when you're dead, it's fine, I guess, but you're relying on your teammates, and now the reboot card is just of utmost importance to get, and you gotta find a van, and now you gotta reboot, and then come back with a great pistol. And with how easily the reboot van and like the sound of it can be heard from like cross map, or I don't think it can be heard quite cross map, but like it can be heard quite a while away. And then you spawn back with like a great pistol or something, and then you just die because one person has some loot, the other 3 of you are just kind of broke, and a team rolls up on you with their MK7s and Singers, and they just beat you in a second. It's just kind of miserable. But Warzone, and it's a gulag system, like you win a 1v1 duel, you come back, you're still like kind of not doing too good, but you at least come back fast enough that you can get your loot pretty easily. If it's safe, obviously. And then you also come back fast enough that if your team might not be out of that fight quite yet. I mean, in Warzone, they probably are out of the fight with how fast the CTK is. But if they say Apex, they're still in the fight. If Apex implemented it, they'd still be in the fight. But like, and same with Fortnite, they implemented it. which that's what you need to do. Just copy. Listen, Fortnite, you've copied so much from COD, especially with this chapter. You got the sliding, which, by the way, sliding on this gameplay topic. Mediocre. I mean, it's kind of good for like building. I'm sure someone will figure. I'm sure they're starting to figure out how to exploit it and like build battles and phasing and stuff. It's just it's there. I don't know. I haven't really paid too much attention to it. Definitely like it, but yeah, it's there. That's the only way I can really describe it. It is there. But on a different note, yeah. So, unfortunately, you've already taken the reboot system from a game. You've already taken a reboot system. You've already taken Apex's when they came out. Just take Warzones, please. Just do that. Please. Warzone just makes you engaged for right when you die for another couple minutes. And if you're good enough, you come back and you're just good. You're just good to go. And also, if you're just on a good old copying games spree, which you kind of are right now, just take Apex's like loot box system, because I hate like the Fortnite just being sprawled out everywhere, especially with teammates like come and take your stuff. It's just miserable. Just make the loot boxes, please. And then other than that, the bigger issue now is the mid game. So combine this with the terrible guns. So you die, it's just miserable. But what's really miserable is the mid game, because even if you live through the early game and you don't die to someone who gets lucky with an MK7 or a Stinger off spawn or something like that, and then you don't die, come out, and there's 20 people left, and you've gotten like 3 kills maybe, coming out of like condo or something like that. You have 3 kills, 20 people left, first zone just closed. What do you do for the next 10 minutes? And the answer is almost nothing. You kind of like walk the zone, walk around for a little bit, maybe get shot at, and like just not have first shot and just lose because someone, I mean, they get first shot, they fry they do a combined group fry on one of your dudes, and he dies, and now you're in a like 2v3. And good players should convert that without a second thought. So that's no fun. And you just kind of like walk around, and there's really nothing to do for like a solid 10 minutes to like end game, and then you finally find someone. And then there's like 6 people left in like a pretty big zone. That's not what you want. And the way to fix this is make the zones a little bit faster. Just get people moving into a smaller circle. Just make it faster. Just make it easier to find people, because there's less places they could be. Like the Blitz LTM I don't even know if it got added in Chapter 2 ever, but Chapter 1, just add that as just default zones, and then add another 25 players in. 25 or 50. I think with this map, I think you'd probably want to go 25, but 50 will also be good. I think 50, you definitely want to test this out in an LTM. Like, you make an LTM called Blitz Chaos or something like that, and then you add 25, and then you have Blitz Extra Chaos or like Cube Chaos or something like that, and it's add 50. And then it's like Blitz zones with 125 or 150, and you test it out, and I would assume it would just be awesome. Because the mid game is dead, and that's my main issue. But the horrible loot pool. But this is just something that's been going on Fortnite for years. So it's more of a fundamental concern, because the guns, those can be changed in a patch like pretty fast. I don't think they take too long. But then something like, just adding a new reboot, basically copy Warzone, like what makes Warzone so fun, but make like the guns not as terrible as Warzone, which is Warzone's guns have just been awful forever now. I hate the Warzone loot pool. I go another rant about that, but not in this video. So basically, that's about it, honestly. Some like smaller things that I wanted to touch on pretty quickly are 1 tents. They're there. tents are in Fortnite, they're like kind of useless, honestly. I haven't really found a purpose for them. They just don't seem to have a purpose. Only thing I can really see them for is maybe competitive when you want to have a bunch of fish or other meds or something like that carrying around with you. You can use tents for that, I guess. But overall, they're kind of interesting. They're a cool idea, I think. I think they have their uses. But overall, in the while I've played this, since Chapter 2 came out, I haven't really cared about tents, honestly. I just haven't cared. And then other small things, sidebar got changed around. It's just not as easy to navigate. It's kind of just miserable, honestly. It's not. You like use it twice in like the couple hours you play, but it's just one of those things where it was fine. I don't know why they changed it, but it's just one of those things you're gonna have to deal with, I guess. And then, there's one. Honestly, that's about. Oh wait, the victory crown. That's another small thing I want to talk about. It's kind of cool actually. I like the concept of showing how many wins you can get with it on. I think it's kind of fun, but I think it's lax a little explaining right now because when I saw that I thought it was like Hyperscape where if you had a victory crown you just like won like a moral victory. I don't know, but I don't. It's just weird. I think it just needs a little better explaining. That's what I think. Overall, pretty nice smaller changes kind of enhance your quality of life, but but honestly, it's kind of there. Like I don't, they've taken up maybe 1% of my thoughts while playing this. Conclusion: Fortnite Chapter 3 is a welcome break from the bad Chapter 2. However, those damn guns, oh my, bro, please help the guns. Help the loophole. And just in general, the loophole is like, there's just nothing fun in there. There's literally there's no boogie bombs, no rifts, no rip-to-goes, no smoke bombs, no stuns if you wanted to keep dropping Warzone. None of that. No, instead we just get misery in the loophole. And then combine that with the mediocre reboot system and the just average and the average reboot system and the really bad mid game, and it makes just kind of a game that exists. But I definitely think it's got a really solid base. I mean, building is still like it's still awesome. Building and editing, still awesome. The cartoony vibe, I like it personally, and it's also got I think it's got a good developing team behind it. I think Epic kind of cares about what's going on, and I think I think stuff will get fixed. That's my main point. It gives you more hope than like an EA game where there's just no hope. They don't care. Here's another $100 microtransaction for an 89 Randy Moss, but if you like to play MUT competitively, you have to buy him for that because he has one more speed than the fastest corner, so you just lose. And also that fastest corner, who's just good, you have to pay $100 to get him in packs. That's that. But it's not EA. That's the point. Basically, I think things will get fixed. I think Tilted, if that comes back, will really help out, because even with the kind of a dead mid game, tells that there is no mid game. There's just early game, and 14 players left, 10 people. You're like 2 seconds from zone, and you have a fun time. That's my overall opinion. Overall, right now, it's probably it's a high 6, low 7 out of 10 for me, because the guns are just bad, and the mid-game is bad, and the reboot system is average. I think the reboot system is definitely the least pressing here, but please just add some more players or faster zones, or preferably both. And definitely, please change the loophole. If the loophole got changed, I think if the loophole was like, if they just add the heavy, the scar, add a couple of like fun things to like boogie bombs or rift shadows, something like that, this game, it would easily be high 7, low 8, or low 8, mid 8, high 7, somewhere around there. I mean, full of better, like, just core gameplay, like, just better better mid game, you easily get up to a 9. And you're like high 8, low 9 kind of territory. Probably mid 9, and then with a little bit better reboot system, you get up to a 10. Like, it is close. Just like a couple major things are wrong, but they're fixable. They are fixable issues. And and I don't think they're too hard to fix this, honestly. So, in conclusion, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you made it this far. I really like you. And I'll see you on the next one.